Hi everyone, this is Amy from Chillin with Amy Paint and Canvas. And today I was just wanting to show you this cute little Christmas kitten that I'm working on. This is one of my art kits, and I just wanted to kind of tell you a little bit about those as we paint this. And love for you to give me some suggestions and tips, or if you think I should add something, I'd love to hear it. So if you want to comment with me on this, feel free to definitely. I'd love to hear the comments and see them. But you'll need to grant StreamYard permission to use your name and post your profile pic so I know who's talking to me. Or it'll show up as Facebook user, which is okay, but I'd rather see your name so I can talk to you. But feel free to jump in, like I said, and let me know what your thoughts are. This is a 16 by 20 typical canvas that I normally do with this kit, and the kits come with paint cups and brushes, and we'll switch you over to close up. They come with the paint cups, brushes, and you've got like a plate and cup to do your rinsing your brushes, and a picture to reference picture to go by. That all comes with this plastic apron and all that. Everything you need basically to paint this. And I will do local. You can do local pickup here, Zanesville, Ohio, if you're local. You can pick that up locally. Or if you want, you could message me as far as if you wanted it to be shipped. They can be shipped. I've shipped some. And you would just have to message me for the details for that. But and these kits here, the larger ones that are on the bigger canvases, those run 25. And I have little kids with the kitten, which it's just the cat and not all the other stuff with it on an 8 by 10. Those are only 10. And if you do like 11 by 14, it's just 15. So those are always available. And of course, I have my truck kits available too. But I just wanted to kind of show you and share a little bit of painting these, and just kind of show you that they do come pre-traced. So everything is already on there. And for the kids kits, I always try to take a black Sharpie and or other color appropriate, and I trace around the actual pattern and stuff that they're going to paint so that they don't lose it. It's a little bit they might cover it up with paint and then they don't know where to paint. So if I do the Sharpie, that shows through, and then they can still find it, and even though they paint over top of it. Usually the adults don't need that. Usually they can do it, paint around it, or you can see through it on light colors. It'll show through. So like this right here. And these are just really cute. I just love these, the kittens. And I got the Christmas cow paint party online party coming up this Saturday. That's on my events too, that you can always join that still. There's still time. And I try to keep those supplies and things that you need to do those pretty simple. So you're not spending a ton of money, out. And then a lot of times you have, maybe have paints and stuff left over, and you can do another whole party with what you have left. So that's kind of nice. So I'm just kind of painting. I'm painting a nice blue background in here. And I'm thinking about doing kind of like a bouquet type background on here. I have some like lights kind of fading back through there. That's kind of what my thoughts are. I mean, you tell me what you think would be cute in the background. I'm thinking this one is inside, so I'm not really thinking snow, but snow's always pretty too. These are cute, just cute little art kits you can do in a short time, but it's nice that the kids are in. Or if you're just staying in, not going places, and you want to do some things, you could, with your own family, you could set up a little paint party with them. Get a couple kits or so, and y'all sit down and paint together. I'm just kind of going around here. I go around this little fuzz ball here on the end of the hat. Some of that will be painted around. I'm using a fairly big brush to start with, but basically when you are painting your own, you can go large or small, whatever. When I get here in this other detail here, as I get a little bit closer, you could switch to a smaller brush is what I'll do. And most of them, I stick to basic. I have like a large brush. Usually it's not even this large. And then kind of a medium flat brush, and either a round brush or a liner brush is pretty much what I use. Like this is the 1/2 inch brush here, and then here's the round brush I typically use. Like as I said, when I get closer in here into this smaller stuff, in between here, around all this detail here, I'll switch to this brush. It's good for getting in there between those little crevices and things you don't want to cover up. So I wonder if everybody is getting ready for Christmas. I'm not really ready at all. Trying to tidy up some, things for the parties, but also I just started to try to think about, what am I going to do for Christmas for the grandkids, and, how am I going to get the gifts in time? And, we get a birthday in December, and then we turn right around and have a couple in January. So, not going to really get a breather there. This is I'm just using like a bright blue. I'd started painting a tree the other day, and I thought, I really want to do the background so it can dry. I do photography. I do it more for hobby now, not so much professional, but when I would do it, I love to take pictures where you had this beautiful bouquet in the background, and it's basically where things kind of blur, and if you got lights and stuff, it just looks like little colorful, blended, blurry kind of lights in the background. And that's what I was thinking would look really cute, maybe. You tell me, what do you think? Do you think that would be a good idea? Hi there, Michelle. Glad you could join me. I don't always paint, but actually I'm not that fast. I know there's some other ones that paint a lot faster than me. But I used to paint really slow because I was so worried about all the teeny tiny little details and getting everything just so perfect. And kind of like in our other paint party, I was telling you, I learned to kind of let that go. Paint a little more loose and kind of like you don't care. And it'll just flow faster and smoother, and you'll have more fun. You're not stressed out about it. I'd be clenching my teeth, back in the day. Oh, Michelle says she's going to do some online shopping today. Oh boy, I did a couple things. Yeah. Oh, you got grandson and granddaughter. Oh, do you just have 2, Michelle, or do you have any more? I have 7, and actually really 8. But I definitely have quite a few to shop for. So let's see. Now I'm getting down in here. This is around like these presents, and I'm going to kind of outline my bows here. I could just paint over those. But if you were doing a kit or something, maybe you wouldn't want to necessarily paint over those, because you might, you might be afraid you might lose those and not know or remember how they went, or you could always recreate what you wanted. But if you don't want to lose them, we just paint around them here. And now I'm going to have, like, in between the little ties there, going to have some of that background in there. Just want to basically get that in. And once this dries, then I'm going to go in and try to recreate what the camera creates, that bouquet look there. But I'm going to do, like, I think I'm going to do little lights, like kind of like the lights are reflecting there on the background. I'm going to do some different colors and just kind of make them, they're going to be there, you're going to see them, they're going to be different sizes, and then blur them a little bit. We'll see how that works out. You tell me, though, you think that would look good, or should I add something else? I'm definitely going to put lights on the tree. What do you think? Should I put big lights, or, great big lights, or just keep them really tiny? Do all white lights or multicolor? Again, that's the nice thing about these, is you can make them any way you want. You don't have to do it exactly. The reference picture that I send you will be kind of like what I did, but you don't have to do it exactly that way. You can do it however you want. Let me get these, just getting that background in there so we can get to kind of the nitty gritty of some of this other stuff. How far I need to go on that one. Down here, just a little there. Grand kittens. Yeah, I've got, I'm a grandparent of animals as well. We've got some dogs and kittens. I love pets, so, if he's a very serious cat parent, well, then that's great. Okay, so I think, let me see, make sure I got that in there. I got that pretty well covered in there. I've got some white here. I want to kind of toss it in here. Not a lot, and I want to kind of keep it loose, and I want that to, blend a little bit, but still kind of show. I'm still using my little round brush. I could use a bigger brush for that if I wanted, but just want to kind of put some of that in there. Okay. There we go. All right. Got that in there. So now some more fun stuff. I'd already painted the tree in. That probably would have been my next thing I would have done here, but I'd already kind of jumped that one a little bit. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get some of my whites in for the cat. And down here, I've got like a little, like a white fluffy blanket kind of thing that I'm going to put down here at the bottom. But I want to put that in, but I want some of that blue in there too on the cat, just for like the shading and stuff. And it'll, of course, make that white, really pop. So that's kind of what I want to do here, is just kind of get that in. It's going to be more of a background kind of thing. So when I go and put like the whites and stuff in there, it's going to show really good for me, I believe. So it's going to look blue at first. Little Smurf cat, I think. Yeah. Ornaments. Michelle says ornaments on the floor. Yeah. I thought about actually, I put the presents in, but then later I thought, oh, I should have put like the lights from the tree in a ball and hanging from the tree where the cute little kitten had gotten into it instead. But I wouldn't really. I was thinking, I guess, more presents and Christmas style. Just painting around. I'm just painting around the eyes a little bit. This color would kind of show it, but it's a little bit harder to see. I kind of want to keep some of that there. And I got some in here. I keep saying he, so I guess my kitten is a he. I don't know why, I just keep saying that. Just getting in some base coat here of this blue. I want to use that for a little bit of shading and stuff. So when I go to put my white in, I probably, I won't put cover all the blue completely. I'll put some over top of it. But go around there. And then the tail here, towards the bottom there. And then down here at the bottom, I'm going to put some like right under the blue, right under him and right under those packages. Go up here, just up under the tree here a little bit. There's some of that. I have the trunk under there of the tree, but I also have, there's a little bit of that blanket's going to be showing up in there. And I actually need to go up here and pop in some of the background. I missed a little bit of that background there. And I bring it over to my sides. I paint the sides and the tops of my canvas. Because if you're not going to frame your canvas, then it just makes it look neater, and you don't really need to have that framed out. There we go. Just gonna get that background. Make sure that's in there. Okay. Okay. I'll just add a little towards the darker blue. This is just going to make the blanket that we're going to paint in there is just going to make it the white on it show up a lot better. And you could do a different color. You could do plaid or anything you really wanted there. I'm going to put in up here on the hat, and it's going to be white. This little band right here is going to be white as well. And just up here underneath here, we'll call it the hairline. I wanted to get a little bit darker right there. Okay, up in here. Be nice and fuzzy there. Okay, so I'm going to clean that one out. All right, so I'm going to let that blue kind of sit there a little bit while I work on the red. And pop in some of that red there. And the tree down here, we're doing a live tree, so I'm going to have some bark, on there on the bottom of that. Then we'll get my red out. And I'm just using a little paper plate over here off the side. I have a little palette in here, but I end up going right back to the plate, so not much sense in grabbing that palette. Now, when you can use a different red, or any color you want, But I really like the red. I like my red to be a little bit darker starting out there. Because you can always pop in a little bit of light red over top of it and make it kind of like a highlight. But I start out with it being a little bit darker, like a little darker red. And if you're not real steady with your hands, I'm usually not very steady. I try to put my pinky nail on a part of the canvas that is dry. Now, 9 times out of 10, I get my fingers in the wet paint. But the thing about acrylics is, it's very forgiving. You can let it dry and paint over top of it if you need to, or take a baby wipe if you get a plop of paint plops down there and you don't want that on there. If you got a baby wipe handy, you can hurry up and wipe it with that, and that will take care of that paint. It'll take it off of there. So now this white trim is going to go over our red on our hat. So another reason to get the red in there beforehand so it can dry when we go to paint that white fuzzy part of the hat over top of that red. This just goes back down here behind the ear a little bit. Nothing says Christmas like red and green, right? Last year, I had this idea. I think it was last year, could have been the year before. I don't remember now. But I said, we're only going to do homemade gifts. It's got to be made. We're not going to take any gifts unless it's been made, or you may pay somebody to make it if it's like handmade. Or we weren't going to, no bought gifts from like Walmart or, Amazon or, any of the stores. And so all my gifts had to be made that I got for everyone. Boy, it was nice and it was fun, but I was kind of stressed out by the time it was done. Yeah, Michelle, you and I in the paint party the other night, we were both probably pretty well covered with paint. We should have took a picture and posted our hands, when we're done, all our paint all over us. Michelle and I did a paint party, the Volkswagen Vice party. She did it online, and she was saying she's got a new paint shirt, and I was saying how I have several because I always wear a different shirt and don't think about changing, and I get paint over me all the time. I'll do real good, and then that last minute, I'll lean up against something, and okay. So he's got a cute little color with a bow on it, little polka dots on it. I'll come down under here. Yeah, the baby wipes really do work. If you catch them while it's wet, they really do work. And yeah, Michelle, these are really nice gifts for people too. These little art kits or painting them. What you did for the online painting are really good. Paint them up and you give them to someone for a gift. But these little art kits are nice too because you can give someone. I gave one to one of my granddaughters for her birthday. She likes unicorns, so I gave her the unicorns to paint. So then she could, at her own time, she could paint it and be real proud and hang it up there. Right now, I'm still just using my round brush. I believe it's a number 6. Yep. And it's kind of a medium size, not real large. It's pretty nice for these things that are kind of small, but you don't have to have a liner brush, and you just lightly, if you just kind of lightly bring it across the tip there, will work like kind of like a liner brush. And then the more you push down on it, the more coverage you're going to get out of that. Makes nice for making little light bulbs for the tree. Going around them curves, I just kind of put down on there and push on it, and it just kind of goes around there. And right now I'm just getting the coverage, getting that red on. Now on this red here, I like to have some, I'm going to take some black, make it really dark. It's with my red, but it's still pretty dark, almost even black. And I just want to kind of put in a little more shadow over here on these areas to make it look a little bit more, try to get it to look a little more like it's kind of curved over a little bit. This will be the dark side of the curve, and then this is going to be the highlight over there. So I just want to add a little bit of that. I've got a little bit over here. And that. It's just going to be a little bit lighter towards the cat. I've got some up here. Yeah, right there. It's a little bit right there on that edge. Okay. And let that kind of just kind of dry in there. All right. I'll rinse that out. Now, while those are drying a little bit, I'm not going to do the bells yet or his face features until I go in with the white, but I want that red to dry pretty good. So I definitely don't want to do that just yet. I'm going to go ahead and start working on my packages. I don't know. I haven't really thought of the colors of the packages. I guess I can do, let's do, well, we know we got to have some glitter. I've got to have some glitter in this. So I'm going to end up using some of my hologram glitter. It's extreme glitter hologram. Definitely going to be using some of that. That's like one of my favorites. But I think I would like to have some purple on this one. I'm going to do a little bit of, I'm going to do some purple on this one. I've got some blue and purple and maybe some white. I'm going to start with some purple. I think I'm going to make my, this back one here white with maybe we'll put some polka dots on it or something. I'm kind of fond of those. And then this one here, this one's going to be some purple, and we might even just put some stripes on it. I just got them kind of whimsical styled boxes here for that are wrapped up and got a nice little bow on them. Just kind of put in a little curve of the blanket here, the tree blanket that goes down there. Okay, and then it's gonna have like some line like that. This one here, but then I'm kind of thinking like I did for actually my Volkswagen one. I did some horizontal lines like that, so I'm thinking I'm going to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and just cover this in. I'm actually going to switch over. I'm going to do a 1/2 inch brush, just make it a little quicker here. I want to just cover this in, make it solid, and then I can put those stripes in there after it dries a little bit. Okay. All right. I'm going to do purple. Excuse me, I get a drink. What do you think if I do this one white, What color should I do that? Do you think I should do blue or should I go with like a red or something to make it pop? Puppy for Hanukkah. Michelle wants to know if I could do a puppy for Hanukkah. There's a new song that just came out called Puppy for Hanukkah. That actually would be really cute. And I've got a puppy one that I've done. Not necessarily, in that it was just a plain puppy. So certainly could be something I could do, yeah. So I'm going to get my white. Where's my brush here? I'm just going to grab another one. I'm going to put my white on this back package so that it'll be in there. Bring it down to this one here. This mystery package that I haven't quite decided what color I should paint it. I was originally thinking blue, but then I thought, well, I got that blue background. It's just going to kind of blend in there. So maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll just pop in some red. What do you think? Right now I'm just putting the white here on this back package because we need to, get the color in there. Okay. Then this one's going to go in front. This one's in front, but behind this one. It's kind of like a long package deal there. Actually, yeah, it's got a mistake there. I've got a little curve right here. And that back one comes through here. Shows behind there. There we go. I think I'm going to actually kind of show you the little baby wipe. It's going to be hard to see because it's white, but I'm going to, instead of curving, I think I want that package to be straight. So I just took my baby wipe and took off that white where I didn't want it, and it just come right off. So that's pretty cool. I could even do a pink package wrapping, but that doesn't really say Christmas, I don't think. So I think I'm going to end up going red with it. Yeah, definitely red, Michelle said. I agree with you, Michelle. Yeah. So good idea. So that's what we're going to do. Michelle's suggesting red, and I'm going with Michelle. I think red's going to be good. I'm going to try not to get my white too much there. I don't want the pink. I want that bright red. Now I've got a little dark starting out, but when I get done with it, it's going to be brighter. And the same thing here. I'm kind of following where my little blanket's going to cover some of that up. Okay. All right. So yeah, I think we got some good packaging starting there. I'm definitely a polka dot lover, so I'm definitely thinking polka dots on my white one. And I'm thinking I might use some of the glitter, the metallic gold on that white one. I'm thinking that might be good for the gold. I'm going to use it on my little bells that is on the collar of the kitten. But I think I'll definitely do that. And then probably, I'm just getting all glitterified here. I'm thinking the extreme silver glitter might be good on the purple to do my stripes that I was talking about. And then the glitterific, after the red's dry, I could do my box stripes there, where the tie of the ribbon, ties around. And then I could put some of that glitter over top, make it really pop and shiny. I think that would definitely make it pop out there good. All right, so this is pretty good. So I think we can pop in the white there. Now the ears are the one ear, and the nose and stuff is going to be pink. And I'm going to pop those in, but I'm going to go ahead and get my white here. I think the hat color, once it dries, is going to be fine. I don't think I'm going to need to add a bunch of that to it. But I'm going to start by putting some of this in, and I've got my glitterific hologram over here that I will add to my white. The first thing I'm going to build up a heavy amount here on the hat. It's that fuzzy part, you know, the hat that's really fuzzy. But I want to get a nice bunch of paint on there. And of course, you know, where it goes over the hat, I'm going to, this brush is not really my choice. I'm going to get my a little smaller brush out. I just want to start pulling some of that white. And if your red's still a little wet, there's a couple of spots of mine still a little wet. I'm going to be careful about that. To pull some of that white out. Just kind of where you think the fuzzy parts of that would go. How fuzzy you want it is up to you. Cover that a little bit on the ear. And that we got a little bit of that blue under there, which is some of it's going to show through, you know, as we pull this paint up. Of course, so will that red if I keep touching that red. Okay. So on the top part there. And then we got down here a little bit, that fuzzy part in here. Yeah, I don't want to cover that dark blue up there much on the very edge, because that's going to be where the hat is kind of resting on the kitten. Just kind of getting the paint in there for right now. Loading it up there. If you put that kind of heavy layer, it just kind of gives it a nice little texture in there. So that's kind of, you know, kind of nice. There's a stuff called Snow Tex that you can get, and that'll kind of give you that texture as well. I'm just not as crazy about it. That's just my preference. You can try that out, definitely. I just kind of like to layer my paint up like that. Just kind of putting it on there, a little heavy, and then just kind of pulling it where I want it to go behind or over the hat a little bit, and over that background a little bit. The little fuzzies. Okay. And then on that, I'm going to pop into that extreme glitter. I want to pop some of that on there. I'm just going to lay it on there kind of heavy where I want it first, mostly towards the middle. And that'll take that a little bit to dry too, but okay. And that just kind of gives that, it's going to give it some nice little shine if you like the glitter effect. And I definitely think it's all about the glitter at Christmas time for sure. But New Year's coming, gotta do some glitter for that too. All right, so we got the base of that in there. Oh, thanks, Michelle. She doesn't think that we need that, but that Snow Tex, but it's something that you can try. It's not very shiny. That's, I think, part of the reason I don't like it either. But it's, you know, it's something different that certainly can try. Okay, I'm gonna come in here, put my white around its ear a little bit. Some white in here. And I don't mind if some of the lines there show on that a little bit. I might utilize that. Okay, now I'm going to hit into my red and make a nice pink here. I want the inside of the ear to be pink. A nice uh, pretty kind of little pink. And I'll typically take and outline this type of painting. So that kind of makes it pop out too a little bit. And the white hairs kind of sticking through the ears there is not pink so much as the other. Oops, a little much on that one. I want it darker. But that's a little darker than I want. Just right there on the inside where there's little hairs are. I wanted to darken that up a little bit. Okay. All right. I'll go in here and get the white around the face. It's still a little bit on the blue tint, but definitely more white than anything. And as I go, first I'm going to try to just kind of get the white in there. I'm leaving that dark blue line there because I want to take the thinner brush and then I'll do like little streaks of hair and stuff through there. We won't cover it all, but we'll do some of it so that it'll look like the fur's creeping up there underneath the hat. And this is where, like I said, if you're afraid of losing your lines, you could do the black marker over the lines, or paint around them. Okay, set that down there. So I'm going to get my liner brush here and I'm going to go into the white. And this is where we're going to just kind of make that look a little bit fuzzier around there. We still want that blue, but we want it to look a little more like the fur's kind of sticking up here and there. Through the ear there. These are just fun little paintings and they're just meant to be cute and you don't have to be certainly perfect on them. Just a lot of fun. Just kind of, oops, I picked up a little bit more paint there than I wanted. But I'm just kind of putting the paint, doing my little strokes as to how I think that the fur is kind of going on the cat. Coming out a little bit on these edges. A little bit over top of that. The bow is going to have a little bit of that fur and whiskers kind of. So I don't want that like a perfect straight line. Okay. Got little fuzzy cheeks. Okay. So that's the base of those, and then I want to put some more down because you can see the blue, there And you can kind of still see it here. I can see it on my end. It's a little bit hard for you maybe. Um, but the blue here is more, you want a lot of that more for shadow. And then we're going to bring in some of the white here. I'm not covering up all these lines, pretty much on purpose. We'll be using those, but I'm going to take, instead of the black, I typically outline the part of the cat here, that part. I'm going to use kind of like a light gray to do that with. Get it up in there. And we got that tail out here. Definitely going to have some fur kind of sticking out from that tail. Okay, so now with my liner brush here, I just want to kind of put some extra white here, right there, like where the toes are. So like I said, we're using some of that blue for the shadow, kind of separating them a little bit and like we'll outline them a little. Now right here, got some nice fur that kind of comes down wispy, kind of like that. So I'm doing a little bit heavier on the white right there. Just to kind of, that will show there. And then we get our tail here. Gonna get some extra little wispies of fur sticking from that. Okay. All right, so then again, we'll let that texture kind of dry in there. Okay. So with that red is kind of pretty well dry there. Yeah, that fuzzy part of the hat. I'm taking some of the lighter red now, just going over some of the red here. The black is, that darker black is still there, but this is where I said you kind of highlight with that red. And I'm smoothing it out a little bit. So we'll keep a little bit of that shadows, but just smooth it out and highlight a little bit. And then I'm going to put a little bit up here, a little bit on this hat up here, the red part. Some of it can stay dark. There. Just makes that pop a little bit. And I'm going to go back in here on my package here. I'm going to make that just a little bit more red. A little more color to it. The purple and white I think is fine, but this just need a little more touch on that red. And then And then he's got this cutest little pink nose. So we're going to head and get the pink nose put in there. I think I got a little more red than I got pink here. Let me get my pink going here better. I love kittens. Puppies and kittens, well, dogs, cats, even, if they're not kittens or puppies, I still just love them. Gotta watch my fingers. Keep my fingers out of there. Okay. The nose is just that pink, or you could get like there's a magenta pink here. Let's see. Let's try. You could try a different pink if you don't like I just mixed in the red and the white together. But this is a bright magenta that I have here. And if you wanted to have it a little more towards that color pink, you could put that on there. I kind of like that better than the mixed pink that I was doing. Pop a little bit of that up here. Just like that pink a little bit better, I think, than the other pink. There, okay. So now go take some black, the same liner brush, and going to try to put my eyes back on my kitten. This is where you kind of see where I had those lines. Big, beautiful eyes on it. And some couple beautiful eyelashes. I'm going to go around. Around the eye here. Get the pupil here. Now, the inside of the pupil of the eye, I have black, and then I did it real pretty blue for the iris. A white kitten with blue eyes is always so cute. And we got cute little eyebrow up here. So a happy little eyebrow. Now, this is where I'm going to turn because I am right-handed. And I'm going to have my hand in it if I don't. I turn it a little bit and try to prop my brush up here on this hand. Got one little spot here is dry, so I'm going to use that. Try to utilize that to steady my hand a little bit. And we got some cute little eyelashes over here as well. And this one, the brow is just kind of there, but it was like under the hat a little bit. So I'll do the whole thing there. Then same thing, outline where the iris is going to be. And I'm leaving the highlights on the eye, the pupil, but you could You could paint it over and then just pop them in if you wanted. But it just kind of helps where I got there. And I'm going to take a little bit of that white around the edges. Cover that there. Not a lot, just a little. Kind of clean up that little bit. And to make sure it's a little more white than blue, we don't want it to have that blue color. But with that same, basically the same cute bright blue with some white. So I want a nice light blue there. I'll mix a fair amount here. If you get it too dark, you could always lighten it, but I want a nice pretty blue in there. So that's going to be the iris. No, pretty blue. The online Christmas cow paint party this Saturday we have. That one's going to be a lot of fun too. And we have the eyes to do for the cow on that one, and they're not hard at all. But we're going to make them look so cute and pop just like we're going to make this kitten. So I'm putting the blue around the eye there. I'm going to turn this one a little more here, just so I can try to steady my hand. And I actually went and painted over my iris on this one. I'm like, oops, what happened there? I went a little too far, didn't I? Okay, so we'll just fix that. This one we're going to have to add a little extra paint there. See, accidents happen. No mistakes, just happy accidents, right? Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So we got those in there. And it's coming together, isn't it? Now, again, as I've said in my other parties, it's not all going to look all fantastic, and you're not going to just love it until you get towards the end of your painting. Usually, like I say, the last five minutes of your painting, then you're going to see it come together and really like what you're doing. I'm going to add just a little bit more of that blue, since I had overpainted my eye there. Just make this one, pull it up a little bit here. There. Now, with that black, okay, I'm going to bring this is the eyelash part. I'll just bring it down a little bit more on that. And on this one, I'm going to turn it so I can swoop it over a little bit more. But this one, if I can get my finger over here, I want to actually bring it up this way a little bit more. Okay. Okay, and then I'm gonna try to lightly outline that iris a little bit on this side. Trying to get really light. Really light. No, don't want too dark. There we go. Pop this a little bit more down there. All right. So get those started in there. I might pop back in later and add a little more light blue to that since I had to add that in there. In fact, I might mix some of that now. See if I can pop in a little bit of that there. Okay. Brush out. Okay. Some white in here. And I'm going to pop a little bit of that over top. Like I said, that eyebrow was just kind of peeking out, so I'm going to pop that down just a tad. There we go. Put a little more white up here. Make it look a little more like it's the hair of the ear there. There we go. All right, now we're going to need to put the rest of the nose and mouth in here. So again, I'm just going to use my black. And make sure all the water's out of my brush there. Okay. So I'm going to start, I'm going to bring down here and just start like right under the nose. And just going to bring in some happy little mouth and cheek areas. So we're going to have here. And I'm going to put a little chin here, just up over the nose a little bit, like that. And then we're going to go around the nose, kind of outline the nose a little bit. And then right in here, that's where his little nostrils would be. And then on the nose, I'll take a little bit of that white right across the nose here. Just give it a nice little highlight. There we go. Okay. So pretty much the face is pretty much in here. Okay. And now we're going to go down here. And I'm going to put those bells in. I find my gold here. I'm going to take I'm going to take a little bit of this black, mix it with a little bit of red. And I'm actually just going to kind of outline first with that. Kind of outline these bells. We did a paint party with Christmas bells. A couple ladies did those. They did a really good job. Put a little hanging thing there. Dark line under there. Anyhow, they did a really good job. It was on wood, and they did the bells, Christmas bells like these, except bigger, different colors. It's really pretty. Oops, got a little too much. I don't want that dark of black, or a little bit, retain that red in there. color in those holes for the bells. Love bells. I like old-fashioned looking bells. Those are kind of my favorites. All right. And I'm just going to take some of that metallic gold, basically, and fill it in. Sometimes these kind of remind me of coloring pages and books and stuff because you just kind of fill it in like you do with a coloring book, or coloring page. So you can see the dark is showing through my gold, which is definitely what I wanted. Let's put some cute little bells on our little kitten here. You could, as far as the bells go, you could do, well, any of it really, but you could change it and do silver bells, you know, if you didn't like the gold. I just kind of like the gold contrast there. I'll wipe some of that paint off my brush. And I want to pull that up because I want some of that. I wanted that to show through a little bit more. It's kind of faded on me, so I'm going to go back in and just outline those a little bit. There we go. All right. And when this all dries up, like I was saying, I will pop back in here and take some of that white and my glitter here, but I will pop back in here when this cat is all dry, and then I'm going to outline, like I said, go around and outline some different areas here with some like a light gray and stuff on the coat, just to kind of just outline it, make it kind of pop a little bit. I just think it's going to, I like especially when it's like a cartoonish, not cartoon, but that type of painting. I like to put that outline on there. I just think it makes it look a little bit better, makes it pop and a little bit cleaner. And just putting some little polka dots, and these are kind of like raised polka dots. They stick out a little bit on the scarf there. Not that I like polka dots. Apparently I do. and I do. I'll put maybe one right there. Okay. So that's on the scarf. And then back over here on our little packages here. Like I said, I was going to put some, I think the gold on the white. I'm going to put some of those polka dots on that package. I'm going to go ahead and get them in. And I think I'm just going to, well, first of all, I want to just backtrack just a hair here. I want to take, and I got to decide if I'm going to do gold, if I'm going to do a gold ribbon and gold dots, then my ribbon actually going down across the package then would need to be gold. Where it's tying, I'm going to bring it down like that, and it comes down here, right there, and then it's going to go back down here behind the purple and come down here at the bottom, just where it's being, where it would tie. And then I'm going to go ahead and put in my polka dots first. Then I'm going to go kind of different sizes, but kind of big there. And maybe I'm going to put one like right here. It's a little bit hidden. Just a little bit behind that other package. And maybe there's one that comes right here, kind of big one, and it's off the edge of the package. And got one down here. It comes back behind that red package. Kind of makes you wonder what would be in the Christmas packages. Is it stuff for the cat? All right, we're going to put one right here. This one will go right underneath the tie. Ribbon, I guess you'd say. Let's put one up here. Let's see. I know we're going to have some ribbon going over, so some of this will get covered, which is fine. Okay, I think that's pretty good for that. And then over here, we decided we were going to do the silver on that purple package. I can get my silver to come out here. Okay. And I'm just going to do some stripes basically on that silver. So let's just start like right here. And over here some more. Oh, this just definitely puts me in the spirit. Say Michelle and I did with our paint party, we did some packages on that Volkswagen Bug there, and so definitely should be prepped for this. Okay. All right, so I got my stripes on there. Now I'll end up outlining that package there. I'm actually going to I'm going to go ahead and take some black, outline that. We'll put our bow on there. I think with the bow, if I do silver, it's not going to really show. So I'm thinking I'm going to have to do a different color, or I can't do white because the white package behind there, it wouldn't show on that either unless I outlined it with another color. I could do a light purple, that might show actually, and kind of match with our package. That might be a better idea on that. Okay, so that, and then I want to, I'll outline the other one here, but I want to go ahead and take a brush with that hologram glitter because we talked about what I was going to do with it. And I want to put that on the red. And my dog's going to start barking. Gretchen. I want to put it on the red. It kind of looks like glue when it first goes on, but that'll dry. It's clear, but it'll be shiny. And that's going to give us a nice glittery red color. It's like sprinkling glitter on it, but without doing that. There. We'll let that dry. I'll go ahead and outline my other package here before we do all the bow stuff. And of course, then we'll have lights and finish up the blanket. This is probably the most part of the time that, when you talk about the time that it takes, this is probably what takes a little more time is when you're doing that, like the outlines. It's not so much the painting, finishing the painting, filling stuff in, and it's, doing all the outlining. The outlining kind of just makes everything pop, tidies up a little bit. It's a great time if you have made a little mistake or something, or happy accident. You can kind of fix it a little bit with doing some outlining. Sometimes that, just is what you need. I think with the red one, I think I'm going to go with the white ribbon on it and do white stripes on it where the ribbon has been tied around the box. So we'll have to let that dry, all the way on that one. But on the, go ahead and get some of that purple. I was using lilac, I believe. Oh, no, purple iris, sorry. And I'm going to go light purple. Add some of my glitter to that hologram glitter. That's the nice thing about it is you can add it to colors and it doesn't change the colors, but it does add that glitter effect to it. So I'm going to do the light purple ribbon here. And that's for our purple package here. And like I said, that'll go over that a little bit there. That's fine. Okay. And I'm just going to kind of swirl that off of there. And this one. Right there. Okay. And you don't see the glitter as much as I do on the camera. It doesn't, for some reason, it just don't show that glitter effect to it. Probably because it has to keep focusing every time I move that. But it does have a shine, especially when it catches the light. And then this one, we were going to do gold. And you could do, if you wanted to do this, just the bow on top without doing the ribbon falling down. I mean, you can change your ribbons and stuff up here as much as you wanted. This is a nice little gold ribbon here. I'm going to have it kind of come down there. Bring that one over here. So, okay. And that is still a little wet. So we're going to move on over here to, going to put a little tree stump on there for the trunk of the tree. Get me some brown. It's a nice little burnt umber. I'm going to take a little bit of burnt umber and I think a touch of my nutmeg that I like. It's a light brown. And we'll also use a little bit of white too, because the pine has kind of that little bark that's kind of like, looks that way. So first of all, take this under here Just kind of fill in the tree trunk there. Now you could put, I've got just the blanket coming up around mine. This could be an opportunity. You could get a little creative and you could put like, if you wanted some kind of container or something, cute pot or something holding your tree in there, you could do that. Excuse me. Michelle says, my dog got the attention of both her cats. They were sleeping and popped their heads up. That's funny. They're probably wondering where that dog is, huh? Well, Gretchen, she's my dog. She comes in here almost all the time. She'll come in. If she's not in, she barges the door open. And when I'm trying to do a live, so she typically, hangs out with me in here. Let's put a little bit of that nutmeg on there, and I'm going to hit some white on my brush. There's a little technique that you can do. Let me see if I can find that. I'm just going to take one of these palette knives here. This is kind of a Bob Ross special thing. Little technique that he always would do. And this is not the same palette knife he would use, but he would just get some white paint on your palette knife. I got a little purple in there. But anyhow, you just scrape that across. And get that, see that roll of paint on there? I don't know if you can see that little roll of paint. And that's kind of what he would do. I'm going to put mine down a little bit. And then he would just kind of touch it on that tree, kind of backwards. Just kind of touch it like on the edge. And then you could either go up and down or just bring it across like that. I actually need mine on my other side here. Back side would be a little bit darker. And you kind of got an instant tree bark on there. You could add some little black to it, make it, really realistic. I'm not going for so much the realistic on this particular one, so I'm going to kind of hold off on that. I'm going to take a touch of my green. I have that Christmas green and a little bit of black. I want a nice dark color here. And I'm just going to come in here on the bottom of this tree here. Bring that branch over there a little bit more. So that's kind of going over. And I'm going to kind of pop in some darks here. Just here near where those branches cross over each other, for sure. Just to kind of give you some, again, like the layer of the tree and a couple little, few little streaks here and there like I already got in there. Just to give it a little bit more depth there. And towards the back side, just a little bit more here. Okay. And then I'm going to, again, continue to let that dry. We'll do the blanket here kind of last. I do need to add a little bit of blue. Just up under here. Get that a little bit wetter. Paint's drying out a little bit. One of the things you can do with your acrylics, if you have a spray bottle handy, which I actually got one here, just something like this, you fill some water, you can do a little misting on your paints. That'll keep those acrylics a little bit wet. You don't want to put a ton of it on there, but it'll keep them wet enough that they won't be all dried out. And so then, your paints will still, you can still use what's on your palette there, but they'll also spread a little bit. And then I always dip it in the water if you need a little bit more, but I'm just going around that. I didn't quite hit that there, that little section right there. A little bit more of that darker blue right under there. I'm going to put a little bit, I picked up a little bit of that brown. This wasn't quite dry. We'll be going over this with some white, but in the meantime, I wanted to put a little bit more darker blue on there. Okay. So we're going to put that, when we go to put the white in there and stuff for the blanket, we'll have a little bit more blue in there. Yeah. Just up in between there's his toes and feet there have a little more. Okay. So then up in the tree, I'm going to start stringing some lights. It's time to string some Christmas lights up in here. And it's kind of coming together. I talked to you about the background. Actually, I'm going to hold off on the lights because I want to go ahead and try to do that background with you. Going to see if we can't do this. And I'm going to grab my flat brush. I think I have, actually, let me see. I've got this, I got my flat brush here. I've got this one here too. I'm thinking I might use this one. I want to try to put those circles in, the different circles of color. And I'm going to need to, I'm going to move my plate over and get some fresh paint on this one. I want to get some soft colors in there. We're going to have some white, but I want to try to get them soft. And this is going to be a little tricky, trying to get those in there. I'll just kind of go for it here to start. And I want to start with maybe like right in this area. Maybe start putting one in there. I'm going to try to get me a circle going here. And maybe we got one like right here. This is kind of a yellow mixed with white kind of color. And I'm just taking my brush and just pushing it down. I wanted the more paint and color around the center there. And just not real sure how it's going to work out, but I want to try it. See what happens here. If we like it or not like it, I can always paint over it. Try and figure the technique here with you. So I've got that, and I'm wondering if I take my brush, it's wet. This might be a baby wipe moment. Don't know. Okay. Try this one here. I'm gonna take some of that off, I think. Just not real sure how that's going to work right now, but we're going to try it. I'm going to go ahead and put some more in there. Go with the pink color here. Maybe a little pink in here. I'm going to try and do like a little less initial paint in there. And then I'm adding water to my brush as I kind of like lightening that out. Fade it out. I'll do another pink one here, maybe. It's going to be a little hard to, I think it's a little hard to see here, but just daubing that with my baby wipe just a little bit. This is the first time I've ever done this type of background, so it's going to be different, and I'm not real sure, you know, it's going to work the way I want it, but I'm going to give it a shot. That's more of the purple. Now you probably can't see that too good in the camera. Down here, put some in here. I think I kind of like that part better than up here. So I'm wondering how well. I don't like that there as well. And if some of that stays, that's okay, because like I say, I'm going for that look, but I kind of like the way the purple's done it. This purple color here, I took the brush here and I kind of watered it down to begin with. And then I'm just going on here and got a really kind of wet brush with a little bit of color on it and doing it that way. Okay. I'm going to put some right in here where I just wiped that off, that area. Let's put some in there in that one. It's the first time I really tried that particular technique, so it's kind of interesting to see what works and what doesn't work. And like I said, if I don't like it, I can always go back and just paint the background back over, and after it dries, if I don't like that. Thinking I like the purple, but I think that it really still needs, what do you think? Do you think it needs a little more pop with that? Like do some soft whites with those purples? Maybe put one up in here, a little bit bigger. Just kind of put them in all the way through. As my brush I'm just pushing and twirling. It's giving me at least a nice circle here. Just enough color to put something on there. All right, get a little bit of, gonna be brave and take a little bit of that light color there, the white, pink, blue, a little bit white in there. Let's see. Let's just kind of decide here. We're gonna pop in some of those. Maybe add some of that glitter to it. Still pretty wet paintbrush here. And just doing the little circles, just kind of wherever. And this one maybe kind of overlaps that one a little bit. Something up here. All right. Do a couple up here off the edge. Up in here. Okay. I think I'm gonna put that right over that one. Okay. All right, that's enough of that. All right. It kind of gets the effect I want, but still not quite the way I wanted exactly, but it'll be I think it'll work. I have to work on that one. Try to perfect that one a little bit more. Okay, so I've got some of that glitter, and I mixed it here with my white because we were gonna do a white ribbon here on this red package. And still, the glitter's really definitely stronger. It's not drying as clear as I thought it would, but as it dries, it'll. Okay. This one. Just keep a little bow on there. And that one kind of ties and get that where it goes across. Okay. Do a little more of that. Pop a little bit more by adding some more to it. Yeah. All right. Get our lines ready and start working on our lights for the tree there. Okay. All right. I'm going to take my liner brush here, and I think I want to I'm going to use some black with some green in it, make a nice dark green for the lines for the lights. And then there's little, you could do whatever color you want. If you want to use white or something, you could do that. Oh, thanks, Michelle. That's the first time I tried that method. I don't know. When it dries, maybe I'll like it a little bit more. At this moment, I'm not too sure, but we'll see. But with this, you can make your Christmas lights, line however you want to. But I think I'm going to just kind of go with this like dark green, and they're going to be kind of in and out, and in and under, and branches and stuff, and some's going to show and some won't. So that one's going to come over, pop that one up, and it goes under. And some people wrap their tree, all the way around with their lights. Mine are kind of different. I kind of go more this way, but and I don't want all the, the wire to be showing. I'm just here and there. We'll pop in a little, maybe extra little fluff of branch or something, but I just want some there, and then we're going to pop in some little sockets here, and definitely we want to put got a little too much water. I'm going to clean that off with my brush there. We want to put a little bit lights, where they're going to pop out there. Just stopping up some of that water I have on my brush. Sometimes when I rinse my brush, if I don't be careful, I don't get all the water out. Now, there can be some lights in the tree. Like I said, not all the wires are going to show, that you can put in there without hooking them to a wire. You don't even have to do the little sockets if you just want to do the little lights. Maybe this one's going to hang down underneath here. Just kind of wherever you want to put them, however many lights you want to put on your tree. Some with sockets, some with not. Okay. And then just a neat little trick. I showed this the other night with our paint party, but for making your little Christmas lights, a quick little easy way to do them. And I'm going to take some of this yellow, and I'm actually going to add some of my glitter right to that yellow. So I want it to be kind of glittery. And then I want to add a little white, find the white here. Gonna add that in there. The yellow don't always, it goes, but it seems like you need to add a little white to it to make it show up pretty good, at least initially. Anyhow, if you take that, kind of load your brush and just kind of twirl it around in there, get a nice little twirl on it. But you want to load it fairly good. And if you take that, and we'll just start like up here maybe. If you take in the very tip of the brush and you touch that like right there and then push down, and you get an instant light bulb. And the bigger you want them, you can make them, of course, bigger, smaller, so on. Of course, you go upside down for this one. Just touch the tip and then push down. That one actually I liked a little bit better. So touch the tip, push down. There we go. A little bit better. Again, touch the tip right there and then push. Push a little bit on that side. There we go. And you got some quick little lights. Okay. Switch out your colors. Some a couple little. We're gonna do some reds. We're gonna do some greens. Now the greens, I'm gonna have to pop out here more in the blue so that they'll show. And maybe got one. Let's put one. Yeah, we'll put one right here. So touch and push. I didn't quite do my own little push there. Okay, just gonna get some reds and blues, purples even. Get some red. I think I wanted to put a red one right here. More paint on my brush here. And if you don't like there, I didn't quite like how it turned out, so I just add a little more paint to where I want it. It's just a quick little way to get some cute little lights and easy kind of way. If your brush leaves a little indentation, just go ahead and pop a little more paint in there. And we'll put some over here. So just kind of putting your light bulbs wherever you think you'd have them on your tree. Oh, I used to decorate trees all the time here and do themes and stuff. I was always crazy about it. And my family was at the point where they just wouldn't even touch the tree because they knew I'd come along and mess with it. So I finally kind of got out of that. And I don't even put up, I got that little tree right now, but I don't really put up one now because the grandkids aren't here. The kids are grown and so on. But so I don't get too crazy with it now. But I would be so crazy with the lights that, they had to be even. I just drove me nuts if they weren't even. So I was a little too obsessive, I guess, with that. So it's probably a good thing I don't have a tree going now. And get some other colors. You could do all kinds of colors. I got that hot pink and, well, magenta pink. I got it hot pink, but got some purple here. Put some purple lights on our tree. I think these are pretty. We got a purple package. We certainly should have a purple light, right? I hope you kind of enjoyed watching this, and like I said, I just kind of wanted to share what I talk about my art kits, and I thought, well, I just kind of share like what one is like, and how you can be very creative with it and do all kinds of different things. But I do the kitten, and I've got the plain kitten, for an 8x10 for a child, and then I do I got a giraffe, and I got that little elephant, and then the elephant helping decorate the Christmas tree. I have that one. Oh, let's see. Actually, that was that one right there. That's that one that I do. But just different ones, and from different parties, I've done different kits and stuff. Somebody couldn't get their stuff for a party, and they just wanted the kit. They didn't want to go out or whatever. I would sometimes do a kit for them for that. These are just fun little things. They can be, great, like say, great little gift things too. If you wanted to give somebody a paint kit for even a Christmas present or birthday present, or any of that, these make nice little gifts that they can paint then on their own time. I get more paint on my brush. It's not going showing up there. And after I get these, we work on that blanket to kind of finish it out. There's a couple little things on the lights. I'll show you here real quick on how to do that. Maybe I'll add more lights later. I don't know. Just for now, for this showing, just kind of tidy it up a little bit for you, so you sure you got that shopping to do and things to do. So that you just get some of that white on your brush, and just a little on the end there, and then just on your bulbs, here and there on these bulbs, you want to put like a little highlight there of that white. What that does is just kind of makes them pop and gives them a little bit of a more of a sheen or glass look, I guess you'd say. Just like in the eyes of the cat and any other animal that you do, when you put that white highlights in there, it just makes them come to life a little bit more. Yellow, trying to get some on that yellow. Just takes a little hit of it and pick up a little paint of the other colors there. So just stop that off. Okay, so I got those highlighted, and we got one little spot here, maybe needs another little, maybe yellow light in there. Okay, and then I'm just going to take And same thing I was doing earlier. I'm going to take a little bit bigger brush here. And I'm going to take some of my white here. Try to find a clean area here on my palette. And again, I'm going to take some of that glitter, this hologram glitter. I'm mixing that with my white because I want it to be shiny. I want this blanket's going to be shiny like snow, but it's not snow. It could be snow, but in this particular case, it's just a blanket. And I'm going to go in here, and first I'm going to just start putting some paint in. Kind of get my sides here. And basically just kind of pop that in. Kind of heavy there. I'm going to pop it up here. It's like, think about when you're doing it, you kind of think about how that blanket would be, you know, pushed up against the cat's paws. Maybe it's kind of curled in there. It comes out off the canvas over here. Now this, if this was snow, I was doing snow for you, I would just keep piling on the paint down here towards the rest of it. But since it's more going to be more of a blanket, I just wanted it to kind of push up around the animal here, like around his feet, up in there. And then the rest I'm just kind of putting a thin coat painting over and allowing that blue that we put down to kind of show through. Again, it's a little hard for, I think, again, you can't really see it very good on there. It's not showing very good, is it? And that, for the purposes of a video here, we're going to fix that a little bit. There we go. So you can see this. I'm going to put it in there a little bit darker. There. Now you can kind of see that a little bit better, can't you? That just kind of gives it like the lay of the blanket, how it's going to lay in there. Okay. Now, the last thing I got to do is find my liner brush again. I'll pick up another one here. Okay. A little one round brush will do if you don't have your liner too handy. I wanted to outline this kitten a little bit, you know, more, the whites and stuff, so that they kind of pop out a little bit more. But I don't want to do straight, you know, white on it. I wanted to make it a little bit towards the gray color. And I am going to use that glitter that I just mixed just because I have it there and I don't want to waste that. So my black, a little bit black in there. Okay. So, because some things I do straight black like I did the packages, but on the cat, I want it to be a little more gray color. Okay. So then basically, I'm just going to kind of come in here and I can actually touch that. Take some blue in there with that gray as well. That'll show a little bit better. And I'm just going to kind of come in here and start doing some quick little lines, outlines. We had that where the fur kind of went right in here. So we outline that, and then I'm going to come in here right around his paws. We got paw, toes, toenails. Where that one meets. Just to kind of give it a little more definition, a little more playful too, but just shows that. Okay. Back here in the back side here. little toes in there. And then over here in this little hip, we're going to add some of that little edges of those edges in there, but we're also adding a little bit fur look, or to make it look a little furrier. His tail. And we got some up here, one a little bit. Just kind of outline a little bit here. Comes on down here a little bit. Over here by his ear. Want this kind of pops back. It's like the outside of his ear. Okay. Just showing the fur by doing a couple little, gray lines here and there. So it's not totally flat there. Okay. Again up here. Up around there. Pop some down behind that ear. All the way around the edge there. Oh, thanks, Michelle. I hope you had fun just watching it. But I'll put a little bit outline up here in the ear. So where that fur kind of goes like that. Like that. Okay. You want to get like up here around the hat here, kind of like where that goes down in. Put that in there. And then a little bit up here around the fuzzy edges here. And just a couple, couple here. Maybe one there. Here. Okay. All right. And I think pretty much with that, I'm kind of pretty well, I think, done with that. I think it's pretty good. I think the bouquet in the back is okay. Not exactly the way I would envision it. Maybe a little work on that. I can get that perfected a little bit. But I hope you enjoyed it and just kind of enjoyed watching. And again, these are one of the art kits that I do. You're welcome to go to my website at chillinwithamy.com and look under art kits, and you can kind of see what some of the ones I have available. This one here is one that would be done more for the adults, size 16 by 20, and I would have it pre-traced on a canvas. So, and it'll pretty much be done kind of like what you see. This pretty much this idea here. One of the ideas, like I said, I was thinking of the lights down here. Look at I kind of like the presents. I don't know. What do you think? Do you like the presents, or do you think lights would have been better choice down there? That would be something you could do. You could change that up, if you wanted to. So I hope you enjoyed it and had fun. And again, well, thanks, Michelle. It says, I love the way you can make it look so real, not real life, but like Disney real. Oh, well, thanks, Michelle. And again, that's a lot with that outlining too. That, like I said, it's kind of cartoonish, but not, really cartoon. But anyhow, I hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope to see y'all at the paint party on Saturday online. I know, Michelle, you're in there, so I'll see you then. And actually, Michelle, I'll see you probably at 4 o'clock. I'm going to pop in there for a few minutes in our Vibes group, our Christmas Vibes, Volkswagen Vibes group, so we can announce that winner of the Hobby Lobby gift card at 4 o'clock today. So I will see you in there. So again, thank you. Thanks everybody for, showing up and watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. It's a lot of fun for me, and I hope you took something out of that, learned something out of it. So thanks again for coming and enjoying the broadcast. Thank you.